trying to get everything together. We about to go live, Spreaker. You know, y'all got to be the first ones up. So I'm looking for the music, and we're going to get the music popping off. And we're going to... First, I got to find the music. I know how this goes, you know. I got so many tracks that's been donated to me. And I'm just like, man, sometimes I can't find what I'm looking for. And there it go right there. Man, once again, Mr. Deity put his foot on that beat right there. He called that one Hotep for us Hoteppers, as some of these disrespectful rascals out here would like to call us. But hey, I take a negative and turn it into a positive. You know what I'm saying? Hey, family, this is Brother Hatim coming at you live right now. You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey. That's right. That's right. This is this is Tribal Quotes, and of course, you know, part of a simple production. As my baby said, where we strive to blow up your old paradigm. Hey, and I see that Brother Anubis is on here, with his new Gye-Nyame journey, moderator level or editor level. Somebody up there is, oh man, who is that? Who on the line is Gye-Nyame journey? I'm telling you, the family is growing. Hey, we kicking it, family. We kicking it. Okay, I think that is Anubis. All right, so now we're about to get into these proverbs, but I'm running late. I had an incredible meeting, right? Of like-minded individuals talking about the next steps for nation builders, warriors in Columbus, Ohio. Oh, we're not playing here, family. It's going down, right? I mean, I'm talking about we pulling stuff together and we're doing some real work. I need y'all to know that. You know what I'm saying? Because, we're not just talkers here. It's not, I don't got time. We ain't got time for just to talk. You know what I'm saying? We got to get out and we have to go and do our thing. We have to do some true building. We got to do some true nation building, right? Because we have no choice, family, because there is nobody but us. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got nobody coming to the rescue. There is not going to be a person coming down on a cloud to save us. There's going to be a cavalry coming in, you know what I'm saying, with the setting sun at the last minute to save us in a battle. We have to equip ourselves and get our minds right and start tribing up so that we can start building to where we need to be. Building to where we need to be. Now, one of the things that have been on my mind for a lot of time today was the fact or the statement by one of our illustrious ancestors, Amos Wilson. And Amos Wilson say, when you look at all of the social problems that black folks have, when you look at all of the problems that black folks have, the question you have to ask is who economically benefits. We have to start looking at why it is economically beneficial for us to be in the situation we're in. We have to start looking at why it's economically beneficial for us not to get along. We got to understand who it benefits economically for us not to be able to stay in long-term relationships. Who does it benefit? And when we're able to really start looking at the picture and understand the economic mechanism behind why we act the way we act, why we do the things we do, we will be able to move to the next level. All right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm putting up the call-in line, the call-in number. Actually, Anubis, you actually couldn't call in at, I want to spell it right, call in at 614. Go ahead, Gina. 614-556-4535. That's right. Call-in number is 614-556-4535. Lines are open. Feel free to call in. Let's do some building, family. It's time for us to have our discussion. I'm going to break out the Proverbs in a minute, but I want to make sure that we got some more people in the house. Actually, we don't need a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Because me and Anubis, we done kicked it like this before. I don't mind kicking it like this. I pinned the number up there so that anybody who want to call in and have a discussion is 614-556-4535. You call in. For those who want to get all of the texts that will be coming soon, this is the next function. This is the next move. For all the texts, for all the information from Gye-Nyame Journey, so that you could become a supporter. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we got books. You know what I'm saying? We got projects we're going to be working on. Kwanzaa 365, Columbus Kwanzaa 365 is still up. You know what I'm saying? The PayPal is still up. You can make donations to that. If that's what you choose to do, you could buy books. You know what I'm saying? You could buy PDFs. In a minute, I'm going to have the Daily Toaster shirts. I'm thinking about the design, and I'm working on it. I got to find a young person that's going to get out there and knock that out. You know what I'm saying? So that we've gone and really start doing what it is we do. So right now we're streaming live on YouTube. Right now we're streaming live on Facebook. Right now we're streaming live on Instagram. We are also podcasting at the same time because, like I said, family, I'm trying to hone and use my weapons. Rather than allowing these things to take up our time and keep us involved in culturally inappropriate behaviors, we can also use these as tools to build something bigger, build something better, right? I had an opportunity to talk to a young man today, and I asked him, Teespring is also T. Oh, ooh, okay, cool. I'm gonna have to look into that. I gotta find a link. Uh oh, somebody on the line. Who's on the line? Who is this? Who? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Welcome back. I haven't heard from you in a while, and it's going to feel so good to be challenged by my Piscean sister. How are you doing today, Miss Lady J?
I'm blessed.
Good. That's good. So we are going to start talking about these proverbs, but, we giving people a little bit of time to spill in. What we're going to do is we have a little discussion right now, because I know you got some stuff on your mind. You got some stuff on your mind, heavy, right?
I do.
Okay.
I got a couple of things on my mind.
Go ahead.
You want me to speak my mind?
Yeah, speak your mind, baby, because we got time. Because you're going to bring up something that's going to get me fired up.
Okay. So there's two things that, there's several things that may be bothering me or troubling me right now. The first thing is that something that I see as good and bad. So the whole thing with Trump and his comments about shithole country. I watched my timeline, noticed a lot of people was commenting on it, but one thing I noticed was that a lot of my European American co-workers, and a couple of them, not a lot of them, but a couple of them posted about how upset and outraged and troubled and that they are about his comments. And what resulted from that was that the people that they keep in their company began to respond and basically take up for Trump. Some people didn't, but some people did. But as I watched it unfold, the thing that troubled me most was that I watched people stand up and speak out for immigrants, but these same people, when we have numerous injustices against people of color, black people here, their timeline is silent. They don't speak out. They don't take part. But let them say something about immigrants or with the comment he made, and they rushed to speak on it. And I was a little, I was excited because I feel like the one true threat is silent racism, and that is how well-meaning white people perpetuate racism. I didn't come up with that. Famous lady did a video, wrote a book. I got it from her. She's white. She talks about it, how well-meaning white people perpetuate racism. And I do feel like during a time of injustice, when something is wrong, people just need to speak up. It shouldn't matter the race of the person. It shouldn't matter if you can't, if they're like you different. It shouldn't matter. If it's injustice, we should be speaking up against it and standing up. And so I watched that happen, and now I have posted on my timeline the same thing, about I don't have a problem with racist people. What I have a problem with is people who claim they're not racist, but they don't speak up against injustice. They don't fight the power. Those are people that I have a problem with. And again, it took Trump to say something about Haiti and the other countries he spoke out against to get European Americans to speak out. What I found that was interesting, though, a lot of them use their history to back up why they were upset with the comments. So they were saying, one gentleman, for example, said, you know, my mom came here from Germany and blah, 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 blah. So he understands he too, you know, his people were immigrants. So he could kind of relate to that. But I just thought this whole dialogue was most interesting. Just most interesting.
Yeah, so
I just thought it was most.
I mean, I wasn't shocked by his statements. And once again, I have to go back to, because right now I'm doing a folk tale. Of course, I'm diving into some Amos Wilson, and one of the things that Amos Wilson says is, he said one of his students asked him one time, he said, Dr. Wilson, I'm paraphrasing, how is it possible to exploit people who are poor? You know what I'm saying? It's like, when we look at these countries that he calls shitholes, first off, every last one that he named, in some form or fashion, America has made a major come up off. And
not only that, we're talking about countries who have a history of imperialism, colonialization.
Right.
So when people ask, you know, when they're talking about these countries becoming shitholes, and I'm saying, who put them in that predicament?
There we go. And that's one of
why are they?
And that's one of the issues that, like you said, standing up for truth, speaking out for justice. That's one of the major issues, because for America, or a large amount of Americans, to start standing up for justice, it means that we would have to shut down a lot of the operations and a lot of the ways that America deals with foreign countries. You know what I'm saying? This whole holistic system of taking advantage of people is very detrimental to the economies of other places, and it throws these countries into positions to where it's messed up. Brother Anubis says shitholes that they cannot seem to just let be alone, always gunning for their natural resources and human ones as well. Anubis says Luanda, Angola is far cleaner and better designed than Manhattan. Shouts out to Miss Christy Lowe. C-Lo, thank you for joining us. Deion Watson and a few other people that have been dropped in. And of course, I want to thank Lady J, because she always is up on the news. And Lady J, if you would like, I could put you on as a author on Gye-Nyame Journey, so that some of this political stuff and some of the social issues that you like to deal with, if you wanted to write about or you want to post articles, you can do that as well, because we have to be our media, because now we see that black media is under total attack, and we only gonna be getting their perspective of the news, and we have to be able to provide a place where our folks can start coming, so that we can start informing them from our perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because we always gonna have problems. We always gonna have problems until we start looking at the world from our perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because they, you know, and another issue is that everybody is screaming about the immigrants, right? And it's like we haven't taken care of the non-immigrant class, which is you, me, and most of the people on this timeline. America has not served justice to the non-immigrant class that was here, because everybody else gets. They
never promised. they never promised justice, though. I don't know. I don't know that they promised us justice. They never promised things were going to be easy. As in America, things were. I don't feel. I feel like the only thing we were, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness.
But hold on now. When that stuff was written, see, because this is what we have to be clear on. When that stuff was written, where was your ancestors?
Not true.
Okay.
Not okay. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
So we forget. Let's talk about that, because my perspective is going to be different from your perspective.
Okay.
When I look at a lot of the primary documents,
go ahead.
Big book.
When I think about, I watched you talk. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, go ahead. No, I had to pull out my book because I'm
okay.
I'm we about to get it.
Okay. So yeah. So when I think about these things, I have to go back to some primary documents from that time. I have to go back, and one thing that really does it for me, or really did it for me, was the musical 1776. And so in that musical, they highlight what happens at those first Continental Congress, at those Continental Congress meetings. And I'm teaching this right now, the Road to American Revolution, right now to my 8th graders. And I'm thinking about how long did it take the colonists to agree to the revolutionary declare independence, right? And what was taking them so long? Why did they have to go through so much for so many years of maltreatment to get all the colonies to agree? And the issue was slavery. So there were things that were taken out of that Declaration of Independence. That was edited many times. And originally, it said a lot about slaves. But in order to get all of those colonies to agree to declare independence, they take some things out.
The great
when we think about slavery and we talk about, I don't give Abraham Lincoln credit for freeing the slaves. Because at those Continental Congress meetings, they all agreed with slavery within. They all agreed.
Now,
so I don't think.
Go ahead.
I just don't agree that they wrote it and they weren't thinking and they weren't considered blacks at all. Now, what I will agree to is though they did not believe that we should have been enslaved, and I'm not talking about all of them. I'm talking about those people who were abolitionists who helped who helped in slavery, abolish slavery. When I don't think that those people thought that we were equals. I don't think that, but I do think that in that conversation, and they even said one of their grievances was about, they felt like that was impressed on them. And I'm only talking about those 13, some of those folks in those 13 colonies. They felt like it was impressed on them. And that was one of those grievances against the king. So I don't think that we weren't in mind. I don't think that we weren't considered when we wrote that document. I think that it was revised. I think that things were omitted in order to compromise, but I don't think that we were not in a topic.
All right, so now listen. Now, so saying all that, you being a descendant of a non-immigrant, how do you feel the issue of your people should be redressed, should be addressed? I mean, because I understand that they thought about us, and because in this type of system,
okay. I can tell you.
Okay.
I can tell you how these things. I can tell you how I think it should be addressed. When studying this history, one thing that I watched, and one thing that is apparent is that those individuals who funded this country, those individuals who colonized this country, they use politics. They use politics in order. they used politics in order to keep even those colonists down, right? They didn't allow them to be represented. That is one reason why they're going to declare independence, right? So I think that we don't give enough or pay enough attention to politics. The system that they set up as far as politics, government, they kept us disenfranchised. They convinced us that our voice was not valid. They tried to keep us from voting for reasons. There's a reason behind that. So when I think of what are we going to do to get our just desserts and sit at that table, we have to be political participants. We don't have a choice but to participate in politics. We don't have an option. And that's not vote. I'm not talking about vote for our president. I'm talking about vote for our local representatives. I'm talking about grooming and leaders within our community, about raising funds, becoming lobbyists, so that we can put people in office who have our best interest in mind, and then take them out of office to appear or further our cause. I think that's what European Americans do. And I think what we have done for many years, we have stepped back playing this game, and we said the rules aren't fair, and we decided we wasn't going to play. And meanwhile, we're getting dunked on, we're getting scored on, we're getting beat. But that's because we didn't like the game, we didn't like the rules, so we decided that we weren't going to play. We got to play this game.
Now, hold on. Now,
we got to play the same game that they've been playing.
I hear you. So now, you talking about I was doing nation building, and I seen you grooming some young people today. I was in a meeting with some other brothers, and we talking about grooming. So the question that I'm asking is, what must be done once we put these individuals in position, because it's going to happen? What should be done to address our issues? Go tell them girls to be quiet, please. You know what I'm saying? Because
I just said it's going to be. I'm gonna give you an example.
All right.
And I think you know me, Hakim. I think I'm so. Things are just kind of basic and simple to me, right? So I'll give you an example. At this point, we have an issue, a large issue. I'm not even going to talk about the education system. I'm going to talk about law enforcement. We got an issue with law enforcement, right? And I feel like our biggest issue, one of the issues we have is that because that profession, the way it is looked down upon, when our kids say they want to be cops, we say, you don't want to be no kid. We discourage them. So they go into those fields. But imagine if knowing that we are underrepresented in that field, right? Imagine if we began putting our kids, when they say they want to be cops, or when they show that they have that, disposition to go into something like that we encourage that, right? We get them certified. And then at the same time, we're passing laws that's going to require these police agencies in these urban areas to hire individuals who look like the people they serve. So all these police community stops that they have in the hood, right, like on Cleveland 11, we're going to require them with community policing to make sure that the people that they put into that area match the demographics. So it's going to be kind of like I just lost my word.
Go ahead.
The correct term. But we're gonna pass laws that says in these fields you have to have, and they do this with teaching. A lot of places are out of compliance with this. Education is doing the same thing. There are districts like Olentangy who have a race task force who is or a minority task force. That's what they're called. And what they do is they go out and they look for minorities to bring to their district to teach. And my understanding is that's because it's required. You're supposed to have a diverse teacher staff, right? And so we have to create, we got to get people prepared to go into those positions, but then we have to, like training them, but then we have to, again, pass laws that says that within policing, you have to hire minorities.
Now, but hold
on. You have to.
Listen, now, giving jobs is one thing, but there has been a system that has been supported by this government that once we are in a position that we should demand that they pay what they owe. That's all I'm saying. I mean, because I hear you. Because of course we could try to work our way back up and job up and get in positions of power, but that's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm overly optimistic, but I'm not that optimistic.
See, but hold on.
People that they put in those internment camps.
Hold on. They paid them
some compensation. They did that.
They paid them.
They most certainly did.
Why?
I just don't see that coming for us.
Hold on. You just got done talking about grooming and putting young people into places of power. You started talking about handling our business in local politics. You mean to tell me that after we do all that, there is no way that we can make this government pay what they owe? See, because it's like this. Because if you could take over cities, if you could influence where we are the majority of people and start developing and taking control of those places and start gerrymandering like some of these motherfuckers do and reshaping the district so that we make sure that our representatives stay like us, you mean to tell me that after doing all that and following all these rules that we can't get back what we deserve? Because really,
what I think that's going to happen is that again, I already said it: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness.
No, but hold on. Wait, hold on. See, but that only if it applies to us, it has only been applying to us in my lifetime. See, because actually in your lifetime, because in my lifetime, right when I was born, certain pursuits of happiness were opened up for us. Now, when you grew up, it's a whole bunch of pursuit of happiness. But when my mom grew up, it wasn't no goddamn pursuit of happiness for us. When my grandfather came up, there was no pursuit of happiness for him. When his grandfather, my people have been here, you know what I'm saying, as non-immigrants, and we have been the fuel that has been burnt up to fuel this country, to move this country to a whole nother level. As a matter of fact, we are helping move other groups to whole other levels, and people recognize what we have, and they move into our communities and start taking advantage of the shit. And I'm saying, listen, they're going to pay what they... I got a whole book right here. It's called The Blueprint for Black Power, where Brother Amos Wilson goes through and show how politically, now with politics, how motherfuckers set up rules so that you could not pursue happiness, so that you could not have liberty. And your ancestors were held back, and many of us are in the place we are right now, even though we don't want to recognize it. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Go ahead. Wait, let me finish. You are not allowed to pursue happiness at the level of somebody else whose family has been here not even as long as your family. Why? Because your wealth this country is built up on your failures. This country is built up on our failures. It's standing up on the bones of our ancestors. And for us,
I don't know about that. This country is built on our ingenuity. That's what this country.
Listen.
And even if your ancestors, grandfather, did not have life and even if they were not promised life and liberty, I don't think that anyone can stop anyone from pursuing happiness. And I don't think even in our darkest times, I don't even think that in our darkest times,
Miss Ross, Baby.
that my people.
How? I mean,
My.
hold on. Time out. I hear you, but I mean, like I said, I can't.
Are you gonna use that? What?
I mean, listen, I can't. It kind of burns me up when people's like, I don't think nobody can stop you from when we have historical facts. Wait, hold on, time out. We got historical. We have historical facts of them lynching you for pursuing happiness. We have historical facts with them burning you.
That's not that. Wait. That's life and liberty.
And what?
That's life and liberty. If my ancestors were not pursuing happiness, if something was, they wouldn't have risked their lives to run away for freedom, right?
Wait. They had hold on. Hold on. So they weren't pursuing life and liberty. They was running. And even when they made it to where they made it to, it was only a certain level that was allowed to go on. Listen, this country is built and fueled by your failures. This country has been fueled. As a matter of fact, people say that this new, now people is kind of losing interest, or they saying this new blockchain technology, this new cryptocurrency is the best investment in ever. But the best investment ever was your ancestors getting up off that boat. That was the best investment that America ever made. And that was from your bloodline. And for us to be like, oh, that's the past. Fuck that. America don't play that shit. Right?
I don't think that that's the past, but Langston Hughes said it best when he said the Negro speaks of rivers. This ain't the first time that this has happened to us. And each and every time that it has happened, we have been resilient. And the same thing happened here in America. Before slavery, during slavery, and after slavery. Our ingenuity, our perseverance, that is what that history speaks to me. That is what that's what empowers me. That's what strengthens me. So even with what was done to us here in this country, my people still bounce back, and they continue to. I got to tell you something, because I wasn't finished with my first rant.
Go ahead.
I just got to go back to something.
You know I was going to argue.
So the issue, the people were speaking up. So are you familiar with what happened yesterday at the courthouse?
With the young man being shot? Is that
correct?
What
so initially, I am I call myself a commentator, and I enjoy going through, and I hate to call myself a troll, but kind of trolling Facebook, right? So I was scrolling Facebook, and I started seeing my people I know, and some of these I knew because they worked at the juvenile jail. So some of these were former JDOs, people who worked in juvenile. They're posting out some of these people, so they're posting at the courthouse. So initially, when the story comes down my timeline, juvenile shot in the courthouse. It was an automatic. People were outraged. They didn't have any fact. And two things happened. They were upset that kid was black. People were ready to riot yesterday for 10 minutes. For 10 minutes. When they found out that boy was white, the whole dialogue changed. So we was ready to protest. We was ready to say how wrong it was that this kid, it ain't no way that this was a kid, and but as soon as they find out it's a white kid, whole dialogue changed. But that's what I'm talking about. Bro, what difference does it make if that kid is white or black? The part is, from the looks of the pictures that I've seen, this kid asked me from, I hate to say this, but from the West Side. He looks like he's West Side, right? So what I know that's not going to happen, white folks ain't going to speak up for him. They're not going to justify anything that happened. They're silent. I haven't seen not one Caucasian, European post about this. But my black friends, until when they thought that boy was black, we were on our way to the courthouse yesterday. The minute they found out he was white, people start, oh, well, I have a friend that was down there, and they said that he jumped, and they was tussling, and the gun went off. Now y'all got a whole different dialogue. Bullshit.
But hold on.
I call foul, and I didn't come.
Do you understand why it's a different dialogue, though, right?
Why is it a different dialogue?
Nah.
If it was wrong for the police to shoot a kid, because that's what they were upset about. A, that this was a juvenile. B, that it happened in the courthouse. And C, like I said, they all were assuming that this was
a black kid.
A black kid.
Why were they assuming? Why were they? Wait, hold on. Why are we in the mind state to assume that somebody that was shot in the courthouse was a black person?
Automatically.
I mean, but why? Why?
Because when we hear, you know why? Because when we hear about police shootings,
right? Why is that?
Most frequently, it is
us.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
cool.
what it is.
So automatically, I thought it was one of mine.
And I'm going to say that even because of the way socialization occurs, because these are modern day lynching, right? So anytime you have and this has been going on for years before Facebook Live and all this stuff. This same thing has been going on. But when you start recording it and we have to see it over and over, these things are burnt in our brain. It could cause post-traumatic stress disorder. It could cause a whole bunch of.
It ain't good. It does.
I've never been in jail. I don't do nothing wrong, Hot Tim. And don't you know that I am deathly afraid when the police pull behind me every time?
Why is that?
Anxious. It's not because I've done anything wrong.
Why?
It's because of the images that have been built.
Now, long before now, because like you said, that's been going on.
Programming.
Exactly, and that's been going on since before all this streaming I'm doing right now. That feeling that you got, it ain't just because of the social media. It's something that has been programmed in you. Why? You know what I'm saying? Because this is what I'm talking about. This is part of the issue that we have. Because we don't want to address the fact that America has done something to us. And America should be held responsible for that. No, we resilient. We bounce back. Fuck that.
Let me.
I mean, I'm just being honest.
Let me say this, Tim. When this flash, when I watched Eric Garner get choked out on Facebook and social media over and over and over again, you know, one thing I knew that moment, that was the government. Why would they want to burn that image in us?
Now, and
that only benefits.
Benefit who?
Who does that benefit?
Who does it benefit? And that's
benefit us.
Now that's the point.
Benefit us.
That's the point. And what I'm saying is the same shit that's happening now has been happening for a very long time. And these things have been burnt. These images have been burnt in our minds. Now, one of the I've been stating this ever since I read it in Amos Wilson's book. He said black kids in school or black children in school are good at math because they're not supposed to be good at math. Nothing in the system has been designed to bring out the best in us. So if it's going to be something to bring out the best in us, it's going to be us. Now, but all I'm saying is, I heard you. I agree with you 100% far as injustice, right? But I have to make sure that I'm looking out for my tribe at this point in time because white folks do a good job of looking out for them. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying?
They're not looking out for that. I bet you not one white person. White people don't like poor white people.
No, but hold on.
There's going to be. They have different classes. I'll watch it. I watch these white people with their themselves and the way that they sleep.
I hear you, but I don't want to take the conversation to white folks because I don't care how they deal with each other. because I know how they deal with me, right? And I know how the courthouse deal with me, and I know how the officer deal with me, and those that look like me. So I want to keep the show focused on us. I hear you about the injustice.
So
bring it back to us.
Okay, let me bring it right back to us. One thing that I said some time ago, right? You have to have. We're fighting. We are fighting a war, right? We're fighting a war. So you in battle. I'm looking for allies.
But hold on now.
All we got to do is have a common enemy. All we need is a common enemy.
But first you need an army. First you need an army. Your army to know who the enemy is, and you need them to know that they're at war. Our numbers are so small right now for us to be worried about allies. Hell, we got to be looking for a few more people like us. Because it's you trying to work. You working in two. Wait, hold on. You working about 5 different programs. Tell me if I'm wrong. You need some help.
What?
You work about 5 different programs right now. You invested in 5 different places.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Doing 5 different things. You need some help. You say we're at war, but you fighting a battle. You the colonel. You the sergeant, and you the enlisted woman. You doing all the work. Now, and see, because I'm with you on allies, but first, we need to build up our troops. Hold on. Brother Anubis says, and of course, you have to change the strategies since the numbers are so small. I'm saying we have to really start looking at how to tribe up, because the whole piece is, as long as we stay separate, because one of the things that Amos Wilson says too, he says, look at who benefits financially for every social disorder and every problem out there. And then it makes it a little bit clear why it has to be. It has to be. We have to be in a situation mentally, emotionally, in order for this system to thrive. It's built up on our failure. It's built up on us not being familiar with who we are. It's built up on us not being politically active. It's built up on us by us not having trust and being able to practice our principles. So when we start understanding that, and I'm able to look at you and be like, damn, I got a sister here I could trust. I know I could try. If I had some money, I know I got some. If I had some money, I know that I would be able to lay the money on you and be able to come back and get my goddamn money. I know that I could trust you with my children. You know what I'm saying? See, because right now, you're right, we could use some allies, but we need to build up our troops. How the fuck are we going to approach somebody and be like, help us fight? And we still, most of our side is still.
You know what? I don't need you to help me fight. All I need you to do is fight. I just need you to know you ain't got to really join my army. You can have your own militia.
Well, hold on. You asking me to go to war with you against the enemy that's whooping my ass too, but you don't even have an army. It's just you.
You attack from that side. I attack from this side.
But it's just you. It's just you. What I'm saying is right now, it's just you. You know what I'm saying? It's just you. They have militia, you don't. You know what I'm saying? We talking about having allies, but because there has to be one thing there for you to have an ally, and that's that respect. As an individual, and you dealing with another individual, they can respect you, but as a group, family, as a group, we garner no respect. You know why? Because somebody from India could come over here, move in our hood, and take all our goddamn money up out of here. Somebody that's half us can convince us to vote for almost any goddamn thing. There is no other group respect for us other than the fact that we dress fly and shit. We make looking cool and shit. You know what I'm saying? We make, you know what I'm saying? You know that there's a.
I don't believe that.
Okay, I'm just saying. That's my opinion. But hold on. Before we go any farther, Anubis says people generally won't fight for or with you unless there is some sort of incentive for them to do so. I'm not driving. I'm not bringing my militia.
I agree.
I'm not bringing my militia to go to war with you against a strong enemy, because that means that when your side starts to get their ass kicked, then they got more to focus on me. You don't go to war with losers. You don't go to, even in street fights, you don't take a group of losers with you to go fight your enemy, because you're going to end up by yourself. Motherfuckers gonna run. Motherfuckers gonna be cowards. Motherfuckers gonna switch sides. I done been in that situation. I done been in that actual situation. I had motherfuckers run. Motherfuckers switch sides. So now I'm taking it from all sides. And I'm saying, baby, you know what I'm saying? We have to be strategic about what we're doing. We have to build up, like you said. We have to build up. And not only start grooming the young folks, we got some old folks that we could be grooming and moving into positions of power and being able to whisper in their ear or be able to understand that they understand the principles that we live on, and they're able to take our culture with them. You know what I'm saying? We're not even allowed to really truly express our culture. We just, you know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about talk about culture real quick, because your son said something to me today that resonated hit me on my inside. It hit me on my inside, and it made my day. And you want to know what that was? Every time he sees me, he says, lately he's been saying the same thing to me. Do you know what it is?
What did he say?
Thank you for my shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Every time he sees me out there,
he
said it again today. So I have more shirts. I have a friend, and I'm going to ask her to keep giving me the stuff. But I'm sitting here. I came home after he told me this. I'm laying here across my bed, and I'm sitting here looking at a shirt that I went and dug out, because I said, when I see him, I'm going to have him another shirt, because he really appreciated that.
Listen, Cleve wore that thing.
He really appreciated that.
He wore that thing on Imani. And that boy, that shit was looking so, he looked so good in it. It was just ridiculous.
Oh my God, you gotta send me a picture.
I didn't tell you. He might be on the face. He was doing all the video for me because I had to speak. You know what I'm saying? You ain't respond to my text that I sent you about putting you on in my phone book, so that when stuff is happening, I can make sure you get text. Like when the shows is going down, you can do it. Now, let me go back to Anubis, and then we're going to do the Proverbs real quick, because I know I got to get ready for my venture. You got to get ready for yours. People generally won't fight for or with you unless there is some sort of incentive for them to do so. Hence, why most Hispanics do not support black issues. You know what I'm saying? We have to be very clear. We in this shit by ourselves, baby. And I just need people to understand that, because that's why I keep on screaming, tribe up. Because the only way you're going to get respect from a group is by being a group. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Only way you're going to be able to battle respect from an institution is as an institution. And that culture...
Let me...
Wait, hold on. We have also become invisible in certain areas. Part of the problem is too much information is publicly known about us. Damn, Anubis. He's a Pisces too. You know, he's
what did he say? I'm sorry.
He said we have also become invisible in certain areas. Part of the problem is too much information is publicly known about us. Like they see the whole gambit of us. Like for example, you know, one of the things that, you know, because I had to become, I'm like a conscious cultural nationalist. Why? Because black folks in America are just a little bit different than that, you know, everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So we had to pull it together nationally before we could work with anybody else. And one of the things I'm noticing is, like, for example, you see a lot of, like, world star. You would think that was started by one of us, wouldn't you? But that wasn't started by one of us. That was
no. I wouldn't have never thought that.
It was started by a Haitian brother. You know what I'm saying? He one of our brothers, but hell. But the whole piece is he helped put out a lot of our dysfunction and shit. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? How you come? Would you do that?
So did Sotomayor.
Oh, hey, listen, and I listen. I'm not even disagreeing with you. He is certain shit that we shouldn't be doing. That shit funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, Tommy Sotomayor, I would listen to his shit so I know where he coming from too, and the shit was funny. I mean, truly, the shit was funny. But then I had to check myself because after I started talking to you, right, and you brought that shit up to me in the Piscean fashion, in the argumentative way, I said, well, I ain't watching that shit no more. The home front must be protected.
Man, your son made my day, but you just made my year. See, my year is taking no better than this.
Hold on. The year's just beginning, baby. I just had a meet. Listen, we just had in Columbus, we just had the livest Kwanzaa. The livest Kwanzaa. And during Kwanzaa, because we announced that we had a shortfall in the budget, we was able to raise money. And in a sense, we showed that we are in the black. You know what I mean? We have a head start on next Kwanzaa. We have a head start on the Malcolm X celebration. We have a head start on Mark. We have a head start because our community is now catching on. And they starting to give. And they starting to listen to shows like this. You know what I'm saying? Because this is not the only one. There's other shows like in your discussions. They're starting to listen. Why? Because we had the Great Pumpkin in the White House, and he's making it very clear other people's stance on us. And all I'm saying is, all we got to do is tribe up. Because it's easy for me to pick you off one by one. But when we start understanding that wealth never comes to an individual, wealth only comes to communities. Let me say that again. Wealth never comes to individual. Wealth comes to communities. Because if money comes to an individual, I got the skill, I got the power, I'm going to take that shit. I'm going to siphon that shit off. It's one or two ways. Either somebody stronger than you going to take it, or all the broke motherfuckers around you are going to consume your wealth. That's why wealth is a community property. So we have to develop those rich communities. First, being able to appreciate the fact and look at money in the way, or look at economics in the way we used to look at it as a people. As a people, our wealth was looked at through other people, through the relationships that we had. That's where wealth came from. That's where the concept of networking came from. You understand what I'm saying? So we looked at wealth as the amount of people that you could call on the phone to get their ass over there to help you build something, to help you do something, to help you raise funds. You know what I'm saying? And once we start tribing up, like you're gonna start seeing in the next year here, and watch all of the resources that start flowing in, it's gonna be ridiculous. I'm in my 50s. I just wish I was in my 30s when this was happening, but I wasn't wise enough. I ain't even gonna say why, because I don't even consider myself wise. I wasn't experienced enough to be patient and be like, oh, it's coming down now. It's coming now. Brother Nuba says, yes, that's quite true. No matter what you think of Trump, you cannot deny the fact that he has been great for a lot of people's businesses and old trains of thought. Because he's exposing white domination. How do you, and
you know what? I got a friend who voted for Trump, right? She voted for Trump. And she said when asked, or when sharing, because I don't ask people what they doing, but when sharing this, because she was vocal on her social media about this, she said that the reason she did it because she felt like blacks needed a wake-up call.
We need a wake-up call.
She felt like that would be that would be
the biggest wake up call we
together.
get.
But but you know what the saddest part was?
What?
I thought that was going to happen the first time Obama was elected.
No.
I felt that sense of pride coming. And initially it did. And then what happened was the next thing you know, that second election, that was the Great Divide. That was the birth of what we have now.
See, now,
that's when it started. But it didn't start when Trump got elected. It started when Obama got elected a second time.
Well, this the issue. Instagram, they about to cut me off. I got 20 seconds left. Switch over to the Facebook at Gye-Nyame.com. Tiandra, come on over. You can also join the call 614-556-4535. I know some of y'all, some other people got some opinions or some ideas about some of the stuff we discussing. But I'm going to say this to you, and we always got to remember, change does not happen in comfort. Change does not happen when you win it. You have to get beat. You know what I'm saying? You have to be reminded, you know what I'm saying, about the position you in. Obama was a veil. You know what I'm saying? They used to call it the veil of ISIS. In some cultures, they called it Maya. The illusion was cast on us. Because, you know, we thought we made it now. We lived in a post-racial society, and these words is thrown around and shit. And even though we don't believe it, we hope for it. You know what I'm saying? Change don't happen out of, you know what I'm saying? Change happens when you're uncomfortable. Change happens when you're in pain. Change happens when your back is up against the wall. When you're able to sit in your living room and be comfortable and put the heat on 75 in the wintertime, it's very little change that's going to happen in your life. But let that heat go off, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? Let the heat go off. You know what I'm saying? Let something happen. You're going to change your situation. And we haven't had the fire put up under us. We've been living in the illusion that America's going to do right by us. And they're doing the best that they can when we know for a fact, when we can look right now and be like, oh, these motherfuckers ain't doing shit. You know what I'm saying? All the changes that's coming is going to hit our asses first. And like I said, that's why I say, you know what I'm saying? This system needs people to oppress. I am that old Conan quote of to crush your enemies, to see them driven before you. You know what I'm saying? It says something is about grab the children and watch the women weep. You know what I'm saying? I remember that quote. That's from Anubis. But hey, let's do this quote. Friendships improve.
I just want to say this. You said change doesn't happen when we're comfortable. Is that what yours was?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me your? Okay, I just want to say mine is if we want change, we need to learn how to keep more of it in our pocket. That's all I want to say.
Oh God! All right, here we go. She's a rapper too. Yeah, I just need to let you know. Friendship improves happiness and abates misery by doubling our joy and dividing our grief. That's by Joseph Addison. One must try to escape from the darkness of ignorance and suffering and seek the light of enlightenment. All right? And last but not least, that was from that quote was from the Dalai Lama. This one is from North Africa. No particular people. Instruction in youth is like engraving in stones. North Africa. So which one? We only gonna be able to do one because I want to. I try to keep the show. I enjoy the conversation, but on these nights I try to keep the show limited. And then I drunk all that damn water, and you see me rocking back and forth. If you watching, I got to pee so damn bad. All right, so pick one of those. Which one you want to discuss real quick?
The second one.
One must try to escape from the darkness of ignorance and suffering and seek the light of enlightenment.
Not that one, the last one. I apologize.
Instruction in youth is like engraving in stones.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to go first or you want to go first?
Go first.
All right, so This one is about youth. You know what I'm saying? Our children are supposed to be, in a sense, they're almost like blank slates. And it's like, we know that they got everything that they need when they come. We're just here to kind of remind them about their mission, right? And when our practices, right, our instructions to them, which a lot of times is our actions, our words, the way we make them feel, is our instruction to them is like engraven in stone. So we see a lot of our young people in schools not being able to do a lot of stuff. And we have to go back and wonder what was engraved on this child when they were younger. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of messages. There's a lot of subliminal messages. There's a lot of negative images. There's a lot of negative symbolism and a lot of negative talk that's going on around our kids. The question is, what has been engraved on these children and how can we change it? So when I take time with a young person and I'm sincere and I'm able to move the 5 parts of their being, and those that's been on the journey, you understand the 5 parts of the being: the intuition, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and the physical. When I'm able to touch those 5 things, I am engraving on the soul of that child. So family, how are you touching the young people around you? What type of instructions are you giving them? Realizing that when you give them instructions, is equivalent to engraving on stone. That means that it will stay there for a very long time. It's going to take something major to shatter it. Something major. So that proverb right there for me is a reminder of why it's important for me to be in a place that I am right now in my life. Because every day, I get to deal with children on all 5 parts of their being. Every day. And I have an opportunity to engrave something positive, or I can engrave some bullshit. And I'm saying, family, we have to really look at what we are engraving on these children. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because, matter of fact, a lot of us need to look at what has been engraved on us, because we don't know. And because we don't self-explore, because that's part of the rites of passage piece, that's part of us going through a passage, part of us going through the journey of life is supposed to be, where the culture and the society within that culture helps and mold us. It gives us time to get a perspective on what has been engraved on us and give us an opportunity to, in a sense, either mark it out or to elevate it. A lot of our kids have not received any principles in their life. A lot of our children have not received motivation in their life. A lot of our children have not received life lessons from people that they care about or that they care to hear from. Right? And right now, I'm going to say one of the tools that's being used to engrave and give our children instructions and engrave on the stones of their souls is this music, this social media. Because we allow a lot of this stuff to go into our children without conversation. Because I ain't saying stop your children from listening to it, because if I said that, I would be like those people who told me I shouldn't be listening to hip hop when I was young. And I don't want to do that. What I want to do is challenge you, have discussions so that you can understand, the perspective that your children are looking at it, but then you can give them a whole new perspective. Because I'm listening to the song and I'm wondering, when this dude say these words, who is he talking to? What is he talking about? Is it good for you? Is it culturally appropriate? You know what I'm saying? Because we got to have these type of conversations. But I'm going to stop right there. Lady J, go ahead, run it, because if I don't pee right now, I'm going to blow up. Go on. It's on you. So what you going to do?
Simpler than yours. When
I'm a genius.
When I heard that, what I thought about is that our instructions are already written. I think that our ancestors have already left us the blueprint. It's written. Pick up a book, follow the formula. And I think that's just as easy as it is. We're not reinventing the wheel. I think about some of the autobiographies and biographies that I've read on different African Americans and some of the things that they said. One thing particularly being about the celebration of Christmas, for example, about what would happen on plantations during Christmas, what the slaves were encouraged to do as far as spending their money on booze and fireworks, a gift, right? They were encouraged to drink. They were encouraged to spend their money, right? And a lot of our ancestors who were living during those times, they basically spoke as if that's not something that we should be doing, right? Celebrating this holiday and what it looked like during slavery. And so I read that, and I think about my own personal crusade and how I've been tested and just, boycotting, doing my own thing. I did so because I read it and it was written and it resonated within me. How we are going to elevate ourselves, what we need to do to improve ourselves as a people, I believe our ancestors have already said it. They've already said it. They've already given us the breadcrumbs in order to get ourselves to success. And I think now it's just a matter of finding those books, opening those books, reading those books, living those words. And that's it.
All right. So, family, I want to thank you. I want to challenge you to look at the Proverbs, the ones that I read. Also, support the journey. You go out and get the book. You know what I'm saying? You get the PDF. Like I said, every little bit helps. Keep this running. You can also join the text line where you could let me know what show you want to know is on. You could text me G&J at 614-300-1875 is the text number. You could text hashtag G&J. Let me know that you want me to plug you in, so every time I'm doing something, you get a text. Or you can plug in and say, just text me early morning for the Daily Toast. You know what I'm saying? To the same number, hashtag Daily Toast. You can say, I just want to do tribal quotes, or just text me TQ or tribal quotes, or text me folk tales for grown folks, if that's all you want. You know what I'm saying? You could just scribe what you want from Gye-Nyame. We're going to get it to you. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do the Nguzo Cyber Challenge, because in the next month, we taking the Nguzo Cyber Challenge to the next level, family. So, this is going to be the last week. It's going to be free. My fault. This is the last month. It's going to be free. After this, it's going to be $30 for each 21 days. And, of course, there's going to be steep discounts for those in Columbus for that exposure. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to be working it, right? Because now, this week, somebody signed up, and I got to help him with some medical issues. And I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a difference. I want to have him on the show. There's going to be a difference when he starts applying just as, like she said, the wisdom of our ancestors. The shit is already out there. I'm just saying now we have to take it, because like in Gye-Nyame, we talk about 3 levels of learning. Then memorization, which a lot of us are stuck in. We got very good memories, but we haven't applied it. We haven't used the intelligence of the mind to really start dissecting what we have memorized. And some of us have made it to that level where we're able to take what we memorize and we're able to make it our own, and we're able to discuss it. But the highest level is intelligence of the heart, where we take what our ancestors said. We memorized it. We used it in our head. We moved it around in our head, and it's now intelligence of the heart. Now I not only speak it. Matter of fact, I don't even have to speak it. You can see it in the way that I walk. You can hear it in the way I talk. You know what I'm saying? This is where we got to learn, and this is how we got to get people to embrace the culture. Where it's no longer I'm practicing in front of mine. It's automatic. It's in my heart. You can see it on me, regardless of what I got on. And that's where we have to take it. And that's how we got to train our young people so that when they get in these positions of powers and they are tempted by the bribes, they understand that the people are more important. Their people are more important than any amount of money that can be given to them. Right now, family, you're training your children to be traders. You're telling them that there's a price that they could do anything. And anybody that could be paid to do anything is no good for anything. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that could be paid to do everything is no good for anything. I'm just saying, because it's like we're training our children to be traders. Go to school for a good job so that you can make money and you can get out. And go where? Where we going to escape to, family? Where you going to escape to? So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I especially want to thank Lady J, because she always come with some engaging conversation and some challenging thoughts. I don't have to agree with her. She don't have to agree with me, because Gye-Nyame journey is not about us agreeing. Unity doesn't require us to have to agree or even like each other. I love her. I'm just saying. A lot of us, we got unity all messed up. We got it all messed up. A lot of y'all want robots. Y'all don't want. I want warriors like Lady J to be like, Tim, I don't agree with you. What? Well, let's talk. Let's argue. Let's yell. You know what I'm saying? Hell, you know what I'm saying? Boom. This is how you build a nation. Because as cultures are formed to make sure that a group of people survive. And if we all thinking alike, then all it take, and we all act alike, we all genetically the same, one virus could come in and kill all of us. But with the small variations in all of us, with the small variations of thought, with the small variations, we are able to survive physical, mental, emotional, intuitional, spiritual diseases. There's the differences that make a culture survive. Lady J has a different angle, a different way of looking at shit. So one mental challenge that I might be able to breeze through and she might struggle with. Another one, she might be able to breeze through it and it's a challenge for me. But if we all working together, damn, when she finds the way, all we got to do is follow. When I find a way, all we got to do is follow and execute. So family, this is Brother Hatim. I need to let you know you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey. Gye-Nyame Journey. I need you to know that this is Tribal Quotes. We only did one proverb. We'll be on day 13 next week. I need you to know that this is a Heart of December production. Where we strive to blow up those old paradigms. Family, much love, and I am out. All right, Spreaker, I want to thank y'all once again for hanging in there, for allowing me to do what I do, and I'm saying peace to you.